perfect design, the epiphany manifold, existence full set, the perfect friendship, the perfect embrace. Congratulations, South Park, on returning full fledged with arms wide open, a pandemic special. Congratulations, Trey Parker. Congratulations, South Park Studios. I'm very excited for your special comeback. Uh, and I'm here to talk about how, my feelings. I feel a little bit left out. I feel I feel a little pouty about face because I really wanted to be there learning about how the company operates. But I appreciate and I'm relieved to see the little face masks on them. But I'm hoping that Trey has not abandoned the concept of us working together. It is a perfect lotus. It is a perfect idea. It is a perfect structure that can weave in and cooperate with the season of South Park that would otherwise be a little bit less joyful. My family brings family cheer and holiday warmth to South Park. My friendship with Trey Parker, a lotus of American society, and the strength of what can happen between us in partnership. The Green Wolf in the map, a magical map in the pursuit of my lifetime, a streaming service filled with intellectual content, asking for the introduction to America through South Park with Trey Parker. Still believing in my company building and a new arena of my lifetime, a new chapter of my life when I am producing shows and brainstorming about content. Uh, for me to be produced by Trey Parker is a really big deal for my life. I appreciate you guys' expertise and your attention. I'd like to give you some good news. I went on a shopping spree after many years of staring at this graphic and being inspired by a sort of gathering of souls. I went ahead and bought myself an actual ring, a claw ring, and there's another one that I'm getting in the mail. But I actually got my rings, two of them, and I also got a face mask in the mail today, and I feel like it's prophetic about me getting a certain special ingredients that I need before I fly over to Los Angeles to partner with Trey. I want to talk a little bit about my character set and what visually is different about them. Uh, there, there's a couple different elements. I love in South Park the bright colors, the sharp contrast, the zen composition of the frame. What I would like to suggest is perhaps even literally like this type of skull painting on the face, a South Park character. So more of a ornate face painting, especially approaching Halloween. I want to propose the consideration of something that's very old in South Park. Let's say that the like an antique structure or character is found and perhaps looks very old. I'd like to suggest that my stories will have uh, mist, the sort of steam of The Good Butler, but the sort of glowing eyes in the foggy night, this type of expression, larger things. And of course, in the virtual reality, a new world and a landscape for Millie the Outlaw, a discovery process, an enchantment, and the repose of seasons as we enter into the autumn, as we enter into the election. My character set introduces the fantastic, another world of beautiful colors, really opening up the potential for all these bright and stark colors for the art of South Park. The romance, the relationship, the friendship that my family unit brings to South Park will provide the holiday glow and the Christmas cheer. I'm very interested in the picture in picture, so smaller cartoons happening in the background, sort of layers of the rewatchability and also just the depth of the pursuit for the viewer. I believe that I bring a magnification for South Park, and I'm excited to work with Trey Parker. Moving into the future, I believe that all that I would need to open up my own company is a firm introduction through South Park. The Water Wheel Mill factory building brought to life in South Park, and the narrative of things that go on in there is basically the description of my company model, and it allows people to develop and meditate on a really powerful idea for America in the honey glow of South Park, in that meditation. And then from the imagination land of our meditation is born an actual streaming service that supplies inspirational, motivational, and newfound thought for the American development. As we're moving forward, we we have to be the adults who understand capitalism, the sort of supply and demand thing. What we're surrounded by our structure is very much inspired by the structure and the hunger of capitalism. And so we need to be adults about that and not be the characters who assume that because we're experiencing climate crisis, we've reached the epitome of global civilization. Of course not. The feeling here is about building super cities and developing a new economic structure that actually supports a lifestyle and the development of green energy super cities. That's very much the narrative of what I feel politically to be the most important thing. And when we look to, and we want to have ideas that are worth putting into the place of leadership. Right now it's a difficult time in the year 2020, and I'm so grateful that the voice of South Park has returned. You guys are going to tackle the issues of 2020, and I'm so glad to see that. Uh, but also feeling like just a little bit left out, hoping that I'm not missing my chance with Trey. I'm glad that you guys are fighting your fight and getting the company open, and I'm sure that's the great relief to many who are a family through South Park. But I just want to say I continue focused on Collins Mill. I'm hoping for a relationship uh, commitment from Trey Parker. Like I said, I just recently, like a week ago, I had an intuition that that I should invest more in my character. So I actually purchased a ring like this, and I got it today in the mail, and it feels pretty good. I have to say, to have these, I have a magic ring, and it's intense, like on my hand. But I'm building up my character. So I wanted to just mention to Trey about, my character set, the story. I like to challenge a little bit, and some of the themes are like, a virtual reality world, like a colorful uh, avatar um, interaction with the brain of the computer, the Green Wolf robot. And I believe that this is actually the future of programming and robotics is using virtual reality to microprocess to design the various strands, the sources of source code, uh, using uh, virtual reality, because you can with vectors you can make a suggestion of a subatomic program. Like if you design the calculation, you go into a virtual space and then you build something, and then once it's completed, the program, like a laser, projects the input onto a micro level of like atomic scale or subatomic scale. It's how to make a computer more sharp than nanobots is to build a computer using virtual reality. But what I'm talking about is making the source code of that computer in the cartoon South Park. So the marriage between the intellect of Hatch and the genius of Trey Parker is the very fabric of American society and the source code of American technology. And so it's a powerful partnership that gives a sort of historical levity to South Park itself. And it's a perfect sort of production of really embracing change for our country is to hire Hatch and allow his character set to open up in the lotus of South Park in this upcoming season. So I congratulate you guys. I encourage you on I'm sure that Trey is working hard on this episode. You've got 2 weeks to finish it. So I bet, you know, you're going to just, you're really going to perfect this one. People are so hungry for this episode. I encourage you, Trey, to feed on that just to feel people's relief. They're like, oh, yes, I have to see that. And, let that fuel your passion. Let that be the pursuit of comedy. But with my characters, it really is this exciting friend for the South Park characters. For the Vampire King to become friends with Stan Marsh, and for Randy to find a friend in Hatch and Millie. I'm not sure who the Demon King becomes friends with yet. So it's a discovery process, and I'm just really grateful. I do have a different take on who is America. The identity of America is different through my explanation. I have a different uh, generation, and those who will come to work with me through my streaming service, it's an entire different talent pool. I represent a lot of jobs for many millions of people. Uh, Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and hope to hear from South Park Studios that I could have this job. And it is very intense for me, and I'm so grateful for your consideration. Thank you, Trey Parker. So, like I said, some of these ideas are really big. It's like how to make the source code of technology from the mastery of the visual arts, to make the solution from the visual imagination land. It's sort of like saving the identity of American Society 2020 and promoting it to the degree of a source code robot trainer actually fighting against the environmental crisis and implementing solutions on at first just the conceptual level where we're all sharing in the meditation of South Park, but then leaning over into a practical Green Wolf robot toy that operates with input and develops music. All right, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate uh, your consideration. It's perfect. It is complete. It is good.